Oh, there we are again. Let's put up our enchantments and, well, what are we up to tonight? I'll definitely I'll definitely go a little bit for the Arcovian Undercity today first. I need some ether resistance, and probably I'll get lucky and find something here. Probably not. We'll see. Hi there, Ghost Lady. Oh yeah, they're already saying hi. Ow. Nutty little skeletons. Okay. So level-wise, I'm not getting downscaled here. Okay. Oh yeah, XP's looking good. Wow. So, if I remember correctly, downstairs goes this way. Well, let's just go wherever. Seriously, I'm just here for the XP and the loot. So, might as well roam as I please. Oh, there's boss. Let's see if I'll actually notice that. Not really. Spectral Bludgeon of Alacrity. Nothing really in it I don't want to have. Oh yeah, hearsay thing. So I can't hear resistances. Okay. Let's see what that'll change. Paperboy, good evening. Happy to see you. So let's see. Probably I now get a better loot readout on these items with resistances, because right now I feel as if I don't get enough loot displayed. And I'd be actually willing to downgrade my DPS a wee bit to increase my survivability. At least to get past the ethereal amalgamation. Because that boss is such a party pooper. So, Maleficus. I don't think so. Oops. I certainly don't think so. Oh my god, that's a lot of enemies in there. Okay. Not as if it would really matter too much. Wow. Last time when I was starting out, this character was so much weaker. This is a completely new level of BS that we're running here right now. Okay. Can't say that I am not enjoying it. So still not sure if I get a display of all the items that I want to see now. I somehow doubt it. Forbidden Art. Art 2. Okay. It's when you get the really interesting parts of lore, when you start to explore places several times. And you trigger those loot tables several times. There's a lot of stories that aren't that easy to find in this game. Okay. This part here, though, is not really a big challenge for this character anymore, though. But that's okay. That's the whole purpose of farming of places. But I'm considering more and more to craft myself something with the necessary ether resistance. If I'm not able to find anything. But let's see how things are will go. Because, you know, killing a lot of enemies ain't bad for me at all. Being over-leveled is only a bad thing when you're playing softcore. Here it's a kind of a life insurance. Or at least partially. I just hope that I'm able to find a totem or two. Not talking about my own totems here. Of course. Ah, down there. Forsaken Spirit Totem. These are among the best sources for loot in the game, in my opinion. Also one of the best sources to try to get yourself killed, but that's a different story. Oh there, Mr. Gargantuan. Bye-bye there, Mr. Gargantuan. DPS is pretty nasty at this point. God, what have I created? What have I done? Not unhappy. Not unhappy. Okay. Did you hear that sound? Breaking urns and vases. One thing I really got to keep in mind is that I got that oh shit button. I can pull up a mirror of Erioptis to heal myself up, or no, not heal myself, but make myself invulnerable if necessary. There's nothing worse than dying with the invulnerability skill off cooldown. It's among the most humiliating things in life. We're actually seeing, hey, you could have saved yourself, you fool.
I can't do that yet.
Let's run! This is so stupid. The way this character cleans out totems is insane. So, well, these items, they all have resistances, though. I think I'm going to exclude these. Okay. So, let's see. If I tack out resistances, I get everything. If I tack in cold and lightning... Oh, I pimped my display here wrongly. Oops. So we're checking for items with these things. I'm sad that I can't look specifically for ether resistance. That would have been really good. But oh well, we got to check them out manually then. It's really important to do so, because otherwise I might look for a long time. Vile Scorn Bracers. Nope. Just a big old nope. Oh, hi there, guys. Bye-bye. See you later. Wow. Yeah, I feel as if I don't really need any damage upgrade for the next time. Like, seriously not. So, well, shields and such things are not really something that I can exchange that easily. My weapons right now are pretty good. I'm partially afraid that I might be finding nothing better in this difficulty level. But I mean, wouldn't be the worst thing to happen. Hinterland shoulder plates of decay. Oh yeah, ether resistance. Here we go. So, well, I'll pick it up for now because it has the proper resistances. Would be a shame to wear stuff that's not at all fitting for my damage types, but like I said, damage isn't just the least of my worries. So downgrading my damage a little bit for the survival of a big boss fight is definitely worth it. Ooh. Ah, electrified. I was already like, hey, that boy is lasting long. Oops. Here's another one with ether resistance. But the Stormcaller's circlet is really something that I don't want to say goodbye to. Now, boots. My boots would be a really good slot for ether resistance. Not as if these are a particularly good pick there, but... too bad. Oh, more of them. I mean, I don't really need that much extra ether resistance. Ooh, Orville's revolver. Lightning damage. It's an interesting proposition. But I think... no. I might have picked this gun if I hadn't had the weapon that I got right now. But since Storm Totem is my signature move and not Wind Devil, I'll keep the weapon that increases my Storm Totem. No second thoughts there. Ooh, there's a lot of enemies popping up here. Well, that boss here is resilient as hell. Seems like she had a pretty decent lightning resistance there. Spectral Arbalest. Ooh, look at this beautiful little thing. Ah, that's what I was looking for. So, well, okay. It's gonna replace that Harmonious Gold Band. Rings are actually a good option to diversify my resistance as well. Probably using some amulet too. So, okay. Now, yikes! My God, so there.
That skill's not ready.
Well, I somehow think that there might be something spawning inside there. I don't know why. I had a hunch. Look, the skeletal gargantuan was flying. Flying skeletons. Alright, so we got that. Let's go for that boss fight one more time. It wasn't hard when I did it the first time, and maybe we'll find something good here. Radatarge, no. Okay. So. Because I remember the sheer amount of respawns in here was setting up a cluster of storm totems to begin with. To make sure that I'm not being ambushed that
That skill's
severely.
not ready.
Alright. Doesn't feel as if this is a hard fight anymore. I mean, the arena is pretty large. That's always good for me. The more room I got to kite my enemies, the better.
Yeah.
There we go. Hilarian's Shattered Soul. This is actually a component you can loot? I had literally no clue. Fascinating in this game. So it's actually a pretty good component too. Like the damage types are pretty sick. Wow. And that's a pretty good skill too. Wow. Okay. So yeah. Okay, the more you know. Discovering something new for yourself while farming out an area is always a wonderful thing. Now, we got that. Let's go to the Broken Hills and oh yeah, Huron, hi there. So Huron, you ever saw that component? I got no clue. I just looted that from the boss in the Arcovian Undercity. I really had no clue that you can actually loot components from certain bosses. I knew about monster infrequents and such things, but that was completely new to me. Harpy Zap. So let's go to the Steps of Torment one more time. I mean, I already got a nice little selection of items to protect myself from ether damage. But, you know, the more the merrier. I also feel as if I want to collect rings and amulets with the just the fitting resistance types, because we will run into similar problems more often from here on. There are always enemies that got certain damage profiles that, you know, it's an easy thing to adapt myself to these damages. Okay. So, or do I go the other way around? I'll go the other way around. It's a longer path. And right now, I'm not in no hurry. So, after my little farm tour of the undead is done,
That skill's not ready.
I want to go over to the Pine Barrens. Let's see what will happen tonight. I'll take my time with the Ethereal Amalgamation. This is by far one of the most problematic story bosses, especially in hardcore. And it only grows easier because the amalgamation is per se a standard enemy type, just transformed into a boss. So it goes. Where is it? Here, Maven's Spheres Protection. We soon need a new tab for our enchantments. So many enchantments that I need an entirely new tab for that. Good stuff. Alright, so with Maven's Sphere of Protection, I finally got a flat damage reduction. I mean, it's not as if I feel that squishy or endangered or anything, but it's always a good feeling to have even more damage resistance. Because as I have already noticed, damage-wise, I am at a really, really good spot. Yuki, hey there, welcome.
I can't do that yet.
So, there we go. Take that, stupid harpies. Come on, go into ranged, my Totem here. How dare you, acting out so smart. Ooh, that's a nice furry. Alright, almost there. finally did AOM. Alright. Ashes of Mammoth is one I didn't finish yet myself, honestly. Well, I can't give you a general statement about that. If your weapon works for your level range, sure, go for it. I mean, Fallen Gods is by all means not specifically harder than the rest of the game. I mean, I haven't finished Ashes of Mammoth yet, but ironically enough, Fallen Gods I did finish already. Don't tell me, don't ask me why. But yeah. Since all the loot is entirely randomized in this game, you can't really specifically farm for something unless you know where to find specifically green gear that's extremely fitting to your character. But I don't have that kind of game knowledge, I'm sorry. Okay. The zaps. Well, I'd say just try it out. I mean, unless you're playing hardcore, what do you have to lose except for a couple of experience points? Yay! Treasure trove! Come on, come on, give me something. Rampage. Okay. Relics are a good find too. So these boots are. Speaking about, oh, these boots already got some ether resistance. The ones I'm wearing, I mean. I mean, the monster infrequents, their primary difference are the bottom half of the upgrades. I do hate that this game keeps track of how many times you die. Does that bother you? Alright, there's boss. Or so I heard. Spark Bold Arbalist. That's a lot of extra damage, but I'm gonna go for that. Steps of Torment is the entrance area to a elite dungeon. At the final level, you can, when you beat the boss, there's a portal where you can use a skeleton key and gain entrance to a elite area. Oh my god, look at this beautiful little thing there. I mean, sure, I'll lose some elemental damage, but 419 health? Oh yeah. Also has a lot more HP. Armor, I mean. So here we go. 5,600 HP. And also more ether resistance than before. Mission accomplished. Well, most of the time the loot per se is just that spectral stuff, but I think people do farm these areas a lot because the enemies are harder here, so higher level means better quality loot, and the enemy density is pretty high. Also, the fact that a lot of these enemy mobs here just spawn out of the ground and you can just kill them while they are spawning. There's a lot of reasons why this is a particularly easy area. So I personally think people don't farm this because of a specific type of loot. People farm this because it's specifically easier than other areas, because undead are very... yeah, well, there's only one nasty move of the undead, And that's, well, okay, 2. That's appearing right next to you. That's step number 1. And the other one is the skeletal gargantuans rooting you in place. But you, as long as you keep your respectful distance from skeletal gargantuans, and they're not coming with some high-speed bosses, most of the time that ain't an issue either. So, you know. Maybe I'm wrong, though, about the loot in this area here. I know that I played a lot here because of the dimension reasons. They're immune to vitality damage. They aren't. My vitality damage occultist can't kill them, but they do suffer a lot less damage. Oh my god, I was 50% and I didn't even notice. Not cool. The Chthonians are a way larger problem for my vitality damage dealer. Especially the high tier demons. They are quite resilient against vitality damage. Beautiful. I haven't encountered any true immunities in this game as of yet, to be quite honest. As in, total neglection of a certain damage type. So, Death Whisper Ointment, no. I'm looking for something against fire. Let's see, Bloodfang Oil? Elixir of the Ancients? Just wondering if I got something to shield myself from fire damage. Royal Jelly Bomb. Here, Spirit Vein Ointment. That's something I want to have. A bajillion crossbow archers. That new piece of armor I picked up didn't only have ether resistance, it also featured a higher base armor rating, so my defensive value isn't that sucky anymore. The real problem about a low defensive value is not so much about getting hit, it's about getting critted. Alright, I've never encountered a true immunity so far in that game. Must be that I came just at the right time. There's only one thing that I stumbled across sometimes, and that's enemies using immunity-granting skills like Mirror of Erioctis. The possessed archmages like to use that one. I can only say that I was myself very confused as well when the spirits were successfully afflicted with the bloody pox and died from a disease that kills via bleeding. But I didn't mutter for real. Ooh.
I can't do that yet.
Okay. What's in the box? Gauntlets. So, elemental resistance. No, the gauntlets are something that it's really worth replacing there. Lightning and poison resistance. Let's check this out. Okay. Certainly don't need these resistances. Not the least little bit. Too bad. I love this place down a totem and stand behind the corner and wait for the enemies to keel over. It's so cheesy, but it's so fun at the same time. Raider leggings of attack. Well, oh, they come with ether resistance. Yay! Slowly getting better. You lay down. So I do have one bristly fur. Okay. We're at 32 resistance now. It's getting better. I think with that ring and the ointment, I am already at a level where I can safely tackle the amalgamation. 5.6k HP, around 68% resistance. That should be enough. But let's just try to get the steps of torment one more time. Oh, look at these XP amounts. That's also a reason why I love to be here. You gain so much XP in one go. It's so good to level here. It's so easy at the same time. I mean, it's ridiculous how easy it is for me here at this point to farm out this place. In a good way. I can clearly see why this was for a while one of the, or it is or was one of the most powerful builds in game. Totally relatable.
I can't do that.
But I'm more than eager to try out more of these power builds for hardcore. It's like, hardcore is at least a good excuse to whip out the strongest builds and the cheesiest builds. You know, in normal I get bored when I over optimize myself too much. Here it gives me a warm fuzzy feeling. And what also is a what's also warm fuzzy feeling inducing is weekend, guys. I hope you came well into the weekend. Loot. Alright, bladed mace, revolver. Certainly no items from me. For us, the biggest nuisance was that the kiddo was, again, taking forever to sleep, but we're getting used to that, so I wasn't taking it too seriously anymore. Handguards of perdition, they suck, at least for me. Heavy bassinet, or however you pronounce that. I don't want to give that away because it gives Wind Devil points, vitality resistance, but no, I just upgraded that. Hands, but you know, Sky Fragment, chance on attack, pretty tasty. My god. Oh, I want that so badly, but no. The resistances are more important. Apparently someone told me Steps of Torment is good for farming anytime since drops are RNG. Extension is a good source of loot. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Monster infrequents are the only things that are somehow influenced by where you are actually farming. Everything else is 100% RNG. I think the upgrade components are also monster bound. So let's see. Last time I had a really, really bad time with this boss, but I don't know if I had the last time 80% fire resistance as well. I don't think so. I think my fire resistance was a lot lower the last time I went here. Yeah. I can remember that yesterday I wasn't able to dance around that jolly here. So nice. Ah, so good. The Scarlet Marksman. Nah. The Writings of Sartusalon. Savage Effigy. Frontier Sabatons. Well, 17% movement speed. Can't remember that I've ever seen such a high number. Wow, I got to pick these up. 17%. Alright, so we got access to the gates of Anguish, or I don't know how the area behind that gate is called, but we're definitely not going to go in there. That's... So, we're going... Is it Prospector's Trail? Is Prospector's Trail the one underground? Yes. No, Prospector's Trail is exactly where I want to go. I haven't changed my plan. We're going to farm out Pine Barrens, and then I'm going to check out the Ethereal Amalgamation. I'll gladly take 1 or 2 more levels on the Maven's Sphere of Protection. I mean, right now we're at a jolly 12% flat damage reduction. I'll take more of that, no problem. It's a simple skill, but it's a good skill. Later down the road, we also gain reductions in the duration of the real nasty things. Total immobilizations. The stuff that kills you. Yesterday, I died because I was frozen, and I didn't know that you can't activate any healing skills while you're frozen. Frozen. What am I trying to say? Okay. Just hope that Pine Barrens is not going to be too much for me. But I'd be actually surprised, honestly, if so. Storm Scorched Shoulder Guards. Ah, well. They're pretty okay for me. Hey there, you crazies. Bye-bye there. Robo Stone Effigy of Thunder. Okay, we gotta check that. Ow! Oh, I had Rungul Tyrants. They always hurt like a ton. So what's there? This thing is a Panetti amplifier. Nothing I need. I find everything that's rushing towards me in that speed very, very scary. So, War Chief's Glory, that's another item that's totally non-interesting for me. So there's a lot of room for upgrades here. Hello, Pine Barrens. Land of the Wild Monsters. Okay. I'm honestly only a bit afraid about the Manticores because they are so good at surrounding you and rushing you down. But with that kind of poison resistance that I got, I shouldn't be that afraid. The Drangul are, for real, pretty dangerous. Arcane oil. Pretty rare loot. I really feel as if the enemies here are a little bit too fast for my taste. I have to kite pretty far away every time I encounter a new troop. Ow! Ethereals. I didn't expect ethereals here. Dangerous roads. I really hope that tonight, at the end of this stream, or whenever I do it, I'll survive the ethereal amalgamation. That'd be so good. Because there's not too many bosses I'm really afraid of here in the base story, honestly. In the base story, there aren't too many really nasty bosses. There's, later down the road, Zarya in Darkvale. She can summon some really nasty chaos bolt damaging thingies that really kick ass. And there's also a couple of Chthonian bosses later down the road. But apart from that... Hyorin, you know any really nasty bosses after you're done with the ethereal amalgamation? Non-DLC. Non-DLC, of course. Or anybody else. I'll take a piece of advice there, what I should be careful about.
That skill's not ready.
My god, these things are scaring me so much. They're huge, they're fast. I know that they aren't as dangerous as they look like, but I don't know. When I wasn't so sure about the fact that back when I was able to just stand up when something rushed me down, the enemies were a lot less scary when they were big and fast.
That skill's not ready.
But I am really happy about the total amount of HP in this character. 5.6 grand at this point. That's good. It's really good. It's pretty solid. I mean, there's always room for improvement, but I think for this stage of the game, I'm pretty stacked on HP. Okay, so 2 directions. Whoa. Alright. Oh no! Dang, that's bad. I don't like the direction I'm running into, so I'm trying to take the kite slow. They body blocked me while I was trying to run back into my original direction. Oh my god, so many of them. Jag waste. Alright. Hello there, Global Tribe. Alright. It's time to let out the Wind Devils again. Nah, here's Manticore Valley. But yeah. Manticores are a lot less dangerous when you're not vulnerable to poison at all. So, that venom gland. Bam. Manticore longsword. Manticore venom. That's the first augment that we found. Augments are so cool because you can put them on top of something even if it has a component already installed. So I checked out the Tale of Immortal update today, and I'm not as hyped as I wish that I would be. So many enemies, so many fast enemies. I didn't expect that when I went into the Pine Barrens, honestly.
That skill's not ready.
Okay. These Manticores, they got so much HP, and they can't even turn invisible. Okay. So, if I remember correctly, Mogara should be somewhere in the northern region of the Jagged Waste. So again, large amount of enemies here.
Can't do that yet.
First one's just disappeared. So the Briar monsters are more scary than the Manticores. I didn't expect that, honestly. I originally thought that the Manticores would be the actual scary part here.
This is very personal.
Dataru, thank you so much for the recurring subscription. Happy to have you here. And I hope you have a fine start into the weekend. Let's not get into that soup. Slap. So, well, that wasn't Mogara, though. So, Stormcaller's Circlet versus this one. Nope. No. That's good to check out. Yeah, well, I read the patch notes, and my first impression was that whole sect gameplay in the Tale of Immortal update isn't really what I was looking for. I mean, it all sounds great and such, but it wasn't that kind of extra content I was that desperately waiting for, you know. I'd rather take some rebalancing at some points, but well. Oh my god. So basically standing still to place down a totem definitely gets me some damage. Yuck. These monsters just are so friggin' scary. I'm just waiting for the poison to wear off. Lasts so friggin' long. So, well, maybe I also needed just a break of all the Chinese cultivation streams. I don't know. But so far, I'm more like waiting. I'm more eager to wait for the next speaker update, but I'm not sure about it. I'll think about that as soon as I'm either done with this character or the game is done with this character. Right now, I am pretty hyped and pretty happy with Grim Dawn and this little challenge that I put up to myself with that. So, well, not what I wanted.
That skill's not ready.
I was also lately considering if I wasn't playing on a wee bit too high difficulty level on Tale of Immortal for my taste. Because there was a pretty smart comment lately that stated that the game doesn't seem too well balanced around the higher difficulty levels, and then I was thinking to myself, yeah, I'm feeling that on Nightmare already. Don't even know how people on Chaos are suffering. Okay, let's focus. There's a star there, so that means, I guess Mogara. I guess Mogara is right up ahead there. Oh yeah. So I'll just keep running for now and kite them back into the totems that aren't here anymore. Dang. My strategy has a severe problem. Okay. So now I got 3 totems. Now. But looks as if I'm good here for now. That's a pretty quick boss. The movement speed is sick. Alright, there we go. Scale mail gloves of frostbite. Nah, thanks. And Grobel. The Grobel stone effigies seem to be Panetti equipment. And that's something where farming monster infrequents is interesting. Whenever the monster infrequents yield an upgrade on one of your main skills, like for example your Panettis. Or in my scenario, that sky effigy thing with the storm totem cooldown reduction. Mogara lies dead. Yeah, I'll take that one too. Alright. So this is exactly the area where I can farm myself a little bit up until we're going against the amalgamation, but like I mentioned before, I think I'm well able to go there. Also, already now, I would want to. I'll rather wrestle with the magic force a little bit more. Ah! Yeah. Okay. There's a nice loot of bristly fur incoming here the whole time. The next thing I'm somehow hyped about is the upcoming release of Age of Empires 4. I somehow assume that it will suck big time, but something deep down inside me hopes that this will be a great RTS game again. But then again, it doesn't really matter because there will be such insanely big content creators on that game that it's not gonna be of any use if I start streaming that game. So, I don't even need to think about that too thoroughly. And besides, I am somehow convinced that it will be a bad game. That's how far my cynicism has grown in the last couple of years. I saw a streamer playing it a few days ago. It looked pretty fun. Okay. Looking good? Ah, that would be. I mean, that would be good. I was a big time fan of the whole series. I played Age of Empires 2 a lot, and I loved the campaign of Age of Empires 3. Man, I did enjoy that so much. I didn't play Age of Empires 3 too much in multiplayer or so, but I have very, very fond memories of the campaign there. Especially the sheer variety of cultures that you were able to play in Age of Empires 3 still impresses me to this very day. Because everything felt somehow distinct, somehow every faction felt as if it was a real own faction. Not too many games deliver well on that end. So now I only need 60 euros for that game. Or some kind soul fetching a key for me. Or the developers finally realize how important and how good I am at marketing games and just give me a friggin' key for free. I don't think that will happen. Neither of those. 60 euros is a pretty steep price tag, too, I gotta say. Alright, level 40. Let's just level out that Maven's Sphere of Protection. It's not gonna hurt me at all. Quite the opposite.
That skill's not ready.
Alright, so let's get into that cave. Forgotten Depths. So we're being rushed by nasties. Oh yeah, that's a big party up ahead there. Spiders and such, I like them a lot because they always come in large numbers and they don't have high HP.
That skill's not ready.
Therefore, they really explode most of the time before they really grow dangerous. Getting back to Age of Empires, I just grew a little bit careful because there were so many AAA releases announced in the last couple of years that just basically were only a big disappointment, and there was also Humankind, which was somehow, well, I don't know why I was thinking that Humankind could be a good game. After all, the same developer team then as the Endless titles, and the Endless titles are really good at storytelling, but they never were really good at gameplay. And that's just my personal opinion. Ungoliax is Devastation. War Sword. Hauberk. Alright, we got Ungoliax down, so I should probably report this to the people outside there. Here. There are so many follow-up quests here. So much worth it. Gloom Weavers, no more. So, Blood Feast the Ruthless of Tyrant's Hold. That's a big quest. That's also a really nasty boss. I don't think that I'm going to go for Blood Feast yet. I don't know. He's quick, he's a hard hitter, and he's a fighter type. These are all things that my character is not necessarily tackling too well. And Let's see. 100% chance on critical attack. Reckless Tempest. What does that do? 6-second duration. Target maximum. Static energy swells within you, unleashed upon nearby foes in the form of destructive bolts of lightning. Well, that does sound pretty tasty. But where do we put that on to? Well, we could put that onto the Wind Devils. Although, the other way around. Wind Devils get that one, and I'll get this skill on the Storm Totems. Thank God I refunded you. Well, I've only read horrible things about the game. It was a pretty sassy move of the devs, though, because, you know, there's always Civilization. And even if you don't like Civilization 6, there's still Civilization 5, which is in all regards an excellent game and extremely cheap to have in every sale. It's on 70 to 90% cost reductions. Beat that. It ain't that easy. I love Civilization 5 until this very day. I'd be down for some Stellaris at some point too. Stellaris streaming would be also cool. It's another one of those games though where there's just so much big dog competition that's kind of like hard for me to compete in over there. But Stellaris is for me the spiritual successor of Master of Orion. And I've played Master of Orion a lot. A very, very unhealthy amount. So I still have to kite very, very far away every time. Ooh.
I can't do that.
There's so many baddies. I'm very, very careful with the Trog. Trog are really nasty because they apply so much damage over time on you. I've had several deaths against these enemies just because I was dotting to death.
That skill's not ready.
Alright, chirpy spiders. More chirpy spiders. Oh my god. The damage. Okay, I think we got it now. There we go. Oh, there's another exit. Okay, I'd say we're going to. Oh, wait a sec. Oh, I need to kill Bloodbriar. After Bloodbriar, I'm going to go for the Amalgamation. I feel ready now. I'm not gonna touch the Conflagration though, I think. Or do I? Okay. I mean, it's not as if this area here would be harmless or anything like that. It's actually pretty dangerous here as well. So, there's another... Bloodbriar's Lair. Ah! That's pretty well hidden, though. Oh, damn. Oh, don't kill me. Okay. when I see such a narrow arena and so many enemies, and I've just entered the level, that's where I get really scared. The stronghold should be somewhere around here too. Yes, yes, it is, Jorn. That's just the next area to take. But I decided to skimp out on that because honestly, the Drangul Fortress, I feel as if this is a pretty heavy area, and that boss there, somehow I got my respects from before that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe this isn't as dangerous as I think. Hard to tell though. Yeah, I have a chance to die there. Yeah, thanks, Cameron. It's exactly how I'm feeling about that. Oh, I think I found Bloodbriar. Yep. So I got to tell myself again, there's an invulnerability skill on the number 4. Just so I know. But right now, it looks as if this isn't really a fight. Yeah. Poor thing. Should be actually feeling pitiful about that. Putting down such a majestic beast. Cario, hey there, welcome. Happy to have you. Hope you're feeling fine. Okay, so key of entrance, and we're back into the Forgotten Depths. So we're going to go over there, and I'll leave that fortress. I'll let that fortress be a fortress, and let's go and slay the amalgamation finally for good. Or it will slay me. We'll see. Ah, thank you so much. Yeah, ACS is a, well, I don't know. Somehow that game everybody associates me with. No. So, Douglas and Homestead has a reward for me too, but thank you for appreciating. That means a lot to me. Alright. So, cover the Lost Cannons, Blood Feast the Ruthless. No. There was another thing. There was this ring with ether resistance. The other resistances were pretty meaningless, but oh well. Let's put some ectoplasm on that. And let's see. With that, I'm at 46%. And with that, I'll be at 71%. That's more than enough. That's going to be more than enough. And also, dear friends, short tea break. Well, I do my best, Cario. I do my best. See you guys in a minute. I'll take a short break. Alright. There I am. So, Tale of Immortal with a new sect update. Yeah, well, I am not sure if I'm going to get there that soon, but I will go for Tale of Immortal one day soon, for sure again. So, but now we're going to face our fears. So, Rotting Croplands, there we go. The update needs some polishing. Yeah, so I read. The patch notes actually told that they want to update the update in the forthcoming days. It seems as if this was there was a lot of stability issues behind that update, according to the patch notes and according to what I read there. But I gotta say, the people behind Tale of Immortal seem very, very diligent people that really want to make this work. They're really behind their baby there. I gotta say. Very passionate when you read those patch notes and all like that. Ow! Stop smacking me. You're hurting my feelings. Wow. 2 blue items. Thunder Touch bracers? Well... it's the correct resistance. And a pretty useful skill. Yeah. Well, less resistances, but one resistance that's more meaningful. That's chaos resistance. So actually, I'll take that one. So, yeah. A wee bit chaos resistance there. Well, we might be lacking good games in that department, Cario, but at least we got a couple of good games at this point. A few years ago, you would have had no Chinese fantasy games whatsoever that are playable on our side. So I'll take that as a piece of progress, you know. A couple of years ago, Japanese games were pretty much all that you can see in our western region. Ow! Dang, they're hurting me so much. Okay, can we get towards the gruesome harvest this way too? Oh. Nah, it doesn't seem like it. And I mean, I do like Japanese fantasy too, but I find it quite refreshing to see the Chinese approach too. I mean, I do like Korean stuff as well. The Asian culture is pretty rich and has a lot of variations there, more than one might think. Flesh-warped plate mail. Well, not really what I need. Battle Mage's Frontier, Holberg. Well, I'm a big fan behind the Bleach and Naruto story behind that. I really don't like how it's marketed, like all that super lengthy stuff, but man, the story and the backgrounds, they're so cool. Characters that are made in there. But such time-consuming hobby. Okay. Yeah. Heavy gauntlets of scorched runes. Oh, 227 health and elemental damage. The elemental resistance is crap, but I'll take that extra health any time of the day. So, well, cold resistance has dropped. 60%. Okay. Here we go. Great story, too much filler. Yeah, exactly. Whoever invented that whole filler genre. Okay.
That skill's not ready.
So I'm really curious to see how we'll fare against the amalgamation there. I think it's going to be really easy and almost going to do well, but when your last character died at a boss, that boss definitely gets a psychological power-up. Can't avoid that. One Piece? Oh man. It's a long time, and I think I must have missed so much of the story that has been made after that. But I enjoyed that so much. One Piece is so unique because it's because of its quirkiness. There are so crazy characters in that series, and not all mainstream animes and mangas are that open for, I don't know, the gender roles, for example. The peak of the fillers is Bleach. Yeah, you put it so well. Bleach. When the filler, when you hate the filler for 10 hours, and all of a sudden you love the filler, and when the filler is over, you're like, come on, leave me alone with that boring main story. I want to see more of those vampires. At least it was for me like that. I loved that vampire filler. And once I got into it, first I hated the vampires. But at some point I was, can't we stay just with vampires and ditch the others?
It's only the beginning.
But yeah, well. Sadly, I don't have that much time for television anymore. I enjoyed my time there so much. But, well, maybe I will get my time back. Maybe my son one day will love that stuff and be like happy when I'm watching it with him. Who knows? All right. Ouchies. It's going pretty well so far. When you're watching it the first time, you didn't even know there was fillers. Yeah, well. I'm jealous. No. The real problem I got with anime series that run for a long time, that's the power creep. When everybody grows more and more powerful, and after 300 or 400 episodes, it's somehow hard to connect that back to the stuff you were starting with. So let's put in a little friend of ours first to get rid of the monsters in there. Because I certainly don't want to do this with all the ads on top of that. Leech was still in air. Well, that's the other thing. When are these friggin' series finally finished? Okay, so Spirit Bane Ointment. I didn't bring that stuff to not use it. Now let's summon our guns. Alright, let's go. Hey there, bad boy. There's one particular attack of that boss which is totally devastating, and that's this one here. If you ain't got enough resistances, this is going to shred you to pieces. I've had so many characters that just got touched by one of those shockwaves and immediately perished. Okay. That was easy, just like I thought. Okay. Thanks, Joran. Well, with all that preparation, stuff gets a lot easier. Most of these bosses are ripping you to pieces because you're not aware of the situation and what it's asking from you. So Kaimon was the faction that I wanted to go for, right? So, let's pump up the Maven Sphere.
Just the person there are two other.
Make friends with the religious idiots. I mean, you know, the Kaimon's chosen. And now, good to go. So, after that success, I'm going to dip my toes towards the conflagration. Really, really carefully. But I got the feeling as if this shouldn't be too much of an issue here either.
I can't do that yet.
Always ready to just leave when things are growing up above me.
That skill's not ready.
Ah, it's the reborn one. The boss you need to kill twice. Mystic Star of the Wild. What kind of metal am I wearing? Something with a low amount of lightning damage. Well, this has more total damage. Yeah, let's take that right now. Oh, level 47. Are you kidding me? Alright, so step 1, survive the ether stuff. Potions are allowed. I got one more resistance potion, which I could sip for the boss, so... This shouldn't be too much of an issue, honestly. Yes, Cario, I played Path of Exile a lot. A lot.
Can't do that yet.
Before I grew tired of having to re-level a new character every season, and before I grew tired of the seasons being less and less appealing to me as well. And yeah, that's how I slowly lost the interest in that game. Ow. And until this very day, I feel as if Grim Dawn is still the better ARPG of them both. So, let's put down a totem here. Okay, I won't loot that. I think Path of Exile would be still a very, very powerful contender, or maybe even the best ARPG on the market, if they wouldn't need to earn money that hard, because they are a free-to-play model. I think without the free-to-play pressure, the game could develop way more freely, with less loot clutter, trying to convince people to buy inventory tabs, with less useless skins that are, well, okay. I'm not gonna talk bad about the skins here in general, but you know what I mean. There's always that weird season system that's, honestly, seems to me as if it's mostly designed to bind people to the platform. And people were more and more disappointed about that. But maybe this will change in the future. These guys are on the market for a pretty long time, and they know how to sell a game. Back restrictions, yeah. I mean, Path of Exile has so effing many collectibles at this point. It's pretty ridiculous that the developers didn't give players free inventory expansions over the course of the time, with all the insane amount of extra features that have been implemented, which basically all introduced new collectibles. Every season of Path of Exile introduced new collectibles. Just saying. Or at least every season that I was playing at. Don't know if that changed at some point where I'm not knowing about it, but you get the idea. So far, the conflagration is pretty okay to me. Flesh warped incinerator. But the time I did enjoy in Path of Exile, I did enjoy thoroughly. It was a wonderful time. And seriously, I still think about Path of Exile that most of its problems are due to the marketing concept they are going for. Not so much about the game. Yeah, well, there's always some new stuff I need to loot in the different seasons, Kario. Just like you're saying. Ow! I don't like it to lose 1/3 of my HP that quickly, guys. Can you please stop doing that? Thanks. Okay. Now, we only need to get past that. Alright, since these big ether lightning jabs here only deal 700 damage each, I'm pretty confident about what's coming up against me here. Well, looting the skills isn't as hard anymore, Dion. After a couple of quests, you can basically buy every skill gem that you want to have. So it's not that you're not that drop reliant on most skills. There's only a very small amount of skills that you actually can only loot. Most of the stuff you can buy from some vendors.
Can't do that.
They changed that rather quickly. Oh boy, there's Hulks. I hate Hulks. Hulks are so effing scary.
I can't do that yet.
That's why he's stunned. Everything which is stunning is very, very scary. Okay. So if we survive that, we're totally gonna survive the boss here. So what's that? I'll still take that, even if it does downgrade my damages, but little do I care. 397 friggin' health. Bow down before the HP upgrade. Well, they got a skill tree with passive bonuses. But yeah, I totally understand what you mean. The skilling system of Path of Exile is very unique. I did like it, but I can totally understand if somebody doesn't. Because it's extremely overwhelming at first. There's just too many options, too many different things you can go for, too many different ways that you can go into. At least that was my first impression there. So, plate mail girdle of attack. Come on, guys. You can't show me every time again that the belts that I find are even worse than the stuff that I'm wearing. Game, please. I'm losing faith in the belts. Well, I did play Diablo 2 for a very, very long time, so I can strongly relate to what you're saying there. I mean, I gotta admit, if somebody would now gift me Diablo 2 Resurrected, I'd totally play it. I'm mostly not playing it because of the extremely steep price tag for a game that I've played so much before that I'm not gonna buying something that I'm basically done with already. But I would. If I wouldn't have to pay for it, I totally would. I'm not gonna lie. That's how good Diablo 2 was for me. That's basically the gist of it. What do we have here? 44% elemental damage. Tasty. Plus 209 health. More than I got on the other item. Pierce resistance. Yeah. We lose some chaos resistance, but, well, there's always something. So, yeah, there we go. Gotta keep all these items to extract the bristly first at some point. Yeah, boycotting Blizzard. Me too. I don't want to give these people money anymore. Totally can relate. That's why I said I would totally play it if somebody else would gift it to me. Because I'm not willing to spend any money into Blizzard products anymore. Nuh-uh. That's why I haven't ever played StarCraft 2, because I already hated them way back when. I heard that the story of StarCraft 2 would be sold in 3 friggin' different packages. That was the moment when I already started hating that whole place, because it was fine and dandy that you were capable of playing the multiplayer version, even for free if I remember correctly, but I was never ever a multiplayer gamer when it came down to StarCraft. I was always the story player, and man was I angry about the fact that I'm not only not able to buy all the 3 campaigns at once, but also that I have to pay a full price for every friggin' single campaign. That's when I was out of there. That was just when I was out of there. Be that as it may, that the production quality of these games was insane and everything, but sorry, not everybody is as privileged to spend that much money for video games. I love video game creators that are more about accessibility. Like, for example, take RimWorld and Factorio. 2 of my favorite examples out there. Am I already at the boss? I think so. Let's sip down the Spirit Bane ointment. Factorio and RimWorld, they both have rather steepish price tags of 30 euros, at least in our here in Europe. But what do you all receive for that money? You get modability, you get a pretty cool base game already, you get so much for your money, and then there's Blizzard. You know? Just like I thought. Easy cheesy. Alright, this is the more dangerous phase of that boss, but if you survive direct lightnings, as I do here, I mean, I don't even feel them, basically. And then there's the Hulk. Let's see. The Hulk doesn't even get to attack me. Bye-bye! Yeah. This build was so insanely strong. Hate so much all those DLC things. Well, DLCs are not the same thing as the policy StarCraft 2 suffered. I always feel as if DLCs are okay. The only thing I dislike is when games get released with DLCs. That's where I'm feeling like, come on guys, you're really ripping off your customers. What's that? Come on, belts. Why so? Why are you like that to me? What have I done to you? Okay. There's the cannon. Ah, enemies. Then I thought we already pacified this thing. Well, Paradox is one of the poster childs of excessive DLC policy. Paradox games are all fine and dandy as long as you start playing them when they are freshly released and you're willing to buy all the DLC that you want immediately when they get released. Then it's not actually that costly, but pity your soul if you want to play Europa Universalis now. Even during the sale. Hey, pay something around 250 euros for all of the DLCs. Planet Coaster. Well, I haven't played Planet Coaster yet, honestly. But I don't mind DLC policy in general, especially since I understand that gaming companies do need to generate revenues later, even after the release of the game. As long as the DLC is made with love, I don't mind DLC policies at all. But, yeah. It's difficult. It's definitely difficult. Well, Stellaris, oh man, I love that game so much. And I didn't mind the expansive nature of the DLCs, honestly. But I can totally relate if somebody doesn't like it, honestly. I mean, most of the time, Paradox titles are truly behemoths of a game at some point, with all the DLCs and add-ons they get delivered with. Ah, Lord of Destruction. Lord of Destruction was a perfect example of a DLC, or, well, way back then there was no downloadable content. The internet wasn't really a thing in that days. Well, you already had the Battle.net, but nobody would have talked about DLCs. Yeah, add-on was the word we used back then. Times. So, back to this game, though. Everything's going swimmingly here. We're slowly getting closer to the finale of this, of the base game here. Once you're leaving Homestead through the northern gate, you're going closer to the finale, in my opinion, at least. I mean, there's still a lot ahead of us, but I at least made it this time further than the last time. I'm happy. Okay. The sheer amount of HP on this character is pretty cool. The Total War series started in 2005. Well, that's just as if it's something I keep noticing with so many games as of lately, that it is almost like the bigger the company grows, the more it moves away from the interests of the customer. I don't know why that's so much. Homestead halfway? I feel as if Homestead is more than just... I feel as if Homestead is 33%. 66%. I mean, there's Bloodgrove, Word Icon, Necropolis, basically. There's not that much in between anymore now. Fort Icon being the biggest roadblock. Amusing me to no end that it's called Fort Icon. So, where's the actual hideout of the Kaiman brothers? I mean, I know that here's the one for the Necromancers. I think I popped. Well, I was taking all the quests and all that stuff quite often, but at some point I realized that I was just spending too much time with stuff that I already did several times before. Or is it over there? Gotta check it out. I mean, I do miss a lot of XP and all manner of different things if I do so, but I'm okay with that. Ah, yeah, here. There we go. Yeah, the skill and attribute point quests are what I'm feeling a little bit sad about skipping them out, but if I really would want to perfectionize, or however you want to call it, this character, I'd have to farm out these quests and such. Yeah, congratulations to your first legendary, Yuki. You're making really quick progress there. And, well, one man's trash is another man's treasure, you know? I was literally keeping a legendary item for about a year or so in my stash, and today it went into the hands of my Bloody Pox occultist, and my god, did it make a change there. So, keeping these items is totally worth it here. By the way, Hyorin, Bloodgrove is for real a really lengthy area. Okay. Surprise! They're attacking me because I'm not willing to let them burn this woman. Yeah. See ya. AFK, hi there. So happy to see you. Well, my storage is at this point really a freaking hot mess.
Your skill's not ready.
Because I got way too many items. I was lately starting to store every blue item and start to sort them to certain level ranges, only to realize that there are so friggin' many blue items in this game that I had no chance in storing them all. And then I grew sad. Okay, so I got the Maven's Sphere leveled out. So, do I want to level Conversion next or not? I don't know. Sphere of Nullification, or basic, it's just called Nullification. So that one would be... Arcane Will would be another thing. Activating whenever I drop below 75%. Big damage bonus to everything, and defensive ability bonus. Let's take that one. 6 bank characters, yeah. I was considering starting a bank character soon as well. For that specific reason. To just have places to store my stuff at. Bloodsorin Codex. Briarthorn summons. Okay. Well, I try to keep my hoarding to a minimum. Because, you know, it takes so much time if you do. Ooh, the homestead people are respecting me now. Alright. Yeah. Bang. What the heck? Are you telling me we're almost 2 hours in already? Lies when you're having fun. You tricked me! Really? No, you didn't trick me. I knew that this was an ambush all the way. But I had to play along. I love it how my totems are attacking an invisible enemy. They're truly cheating. Alright. Now, let's keep going. Was there any particular reward for that one? I think this was one of those dungeons where you just exchanged some dynamite into XP.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the follow, old Eunice. Good to have you. Okay. So, cleared out Morton's claim. Even if it's only a triviality. But I like to take that quest. I don't know why.
My skill's not ready.
Okay. I like the idea there, Hjorn. Why lightning can hit invisible enemies.
I can't do that yet.
Alright. So far, things are really looking good. I don't think that I'll have too many problems with the main story of normal difficulty, but I do plan to play the DLC stories for this character as well. If we get that far, that is, of course. Good night, Kario. Have a good night. Thanks for your good company. The demons here are really not too scary, honestly. But Blood Grove is also the warm-up phase for the fight against the cult of Cthon. Ooh, a Chaos Rift. Yeah, well, Ashes of Malmeth I have no clue about. Just going to be a big problem there. But maybe I'll get one of my other characters off camera there. Oh man, come on, a Chthonic Seal and I haven't got one? Do you know about the damage type though, Hero? Alright, yeah, usually when you're getting hacked, it's the other way around. Hackers usually don't fill your inventory. Guess you got lucky there. It's by far one of the most funny hacker stories that I've ever heard. My account got hacked. When I got back, it was full of good, cool stuff. Scale mail gloves of nature's bounty. And yep. Yeah, don't worry. I'll look it up, or I'll just try it out in the meantime. We'll see. It's gonna take a moment longer until I am done with this. Seriously, now I ain't got a chthonic seal of binding for this thing here. Yeah. Unfair. Usually it's so easy to find at least one of them to this point. They're not that rare. They're really not that rare. But oh well. Oh yeah, there's another named boss here. Volva, the Bloodbinder. Maybe he's going to drop me the chthonic seal of binding that I'm looking for. Who knows? Okay. Another chill boss. Volvar's Pendant. Nope. Bloodsword Codex Rifle. Nope. Never had enough of these seals. Well, my other character has around 30 of them in his inventory. But since we're playing solo Southbound here, and it's hardcore too, there's sadly nothing I can do about that. So, back to Homestead I go. Well, once you start crafting, these chthonic seals of binding go away like nothing. I'm well aware of that. Of course not. Yeah. They are one of the most, one of the more used crafting materials, sadly. But it could drop me one while I'm so friggin' close to the vicinity of a shrine needing that. Come on, game. Don't be like that to me. Prisoners cry out for help. I'm here for you guys. Don't you worry. Arcanist here.
I can't do that yet.
There we go. Here's a totem up ahead. Yeah, well. At least now I got an effect which makes me kind of happy whenever I get that amount of damage. Like, it's a nice little damage upgrade. And dropping below 75% to activate a skill doesn't feel as if I'm drawing too much unnecessary fire on myself. I like that skill. Well, I'm so happy that there's no stat-like Magic Find in this game, because Magic Find always forced my hand to pick items according to greed, because I'm a greedy little guy, you know. Whenever the game offers me to have more loot, I have to go for that. I'm totally unable to fight that back, and I don't like that, you know. I'm happier without. Titan Quest. Oh yeah, good times as well. Never finished Titan Quest thoroughly. I somehow hated the boss fights of Titan Quest. But I don't know. Titan Quest was for me the first game after Diablo 2, which gave me some really good ARPG vibes again back then. Because it had such interesting classes, and the whole loot system of the game was fresh when it was new. Good times. Alright, here's the totem I was waiting for. The other totem was somehow a hidden one.
That skill's not ready.
Okay. Run. Okay, the most scary part is always to get away from the actual totem. Okay. This dude has some really nasty lightning resistance. The Arachnid's Embrace. I don't think so. Dungeon Siege. Oh yeah, Dungeon Siege is... it's good that you mentioned that. Dungeon Siege 1 and 2 were awesome games. They look like crap nowadays, but oh man, I did like them. I did like them a lot. I just had severe compatibility issues way back when these games were new, so I never had the opportunity to play them as much as I wanted to play them. Rifthound leather boots. Hell no. Plate mail girdle. Another one? Jeez. This game really doesn't want me to have a good belt here. Yeah, the bosses in Titan Quest were totally nuts. Or at least... Or I was really bad at ARPGs way back when. Also a possibility. I learned so much about that genre the older I grew. I mean, I basically cheated myself all the way through Diablo 1. I finished Diablo 1 on all difficulty levels with the add-on, with the mage. But how did I finish? By saving after every single fight and reloading every fight a couple of times until I was finally finished. Good times. Yeah, don't you worry, guys. I'm going to go to bed soon as well. I'm just looking for the waypoint here in the Blood Grove. Shouldn't be too far away from me here. Because also, on my side, it is growing late. As much as I want to stay, though, because I'm having a good time. But, well... tomorrow... I'll have to wake up again and be there for the family. It's really good, but... that only means I can't play as long as I want to here. And if I want to stay longer, I can stay longer, but only if I have a lot of money as excuse for staying awake too long. Here goes the Blood Grove Rift. Let's take out River's Mill real quick, because that's friggin' quickly done. And then it's goodnight. Well, I haven't tried to play Summoners in Titan Quest, to be completely honest. I did love Summoners here in Grim Dawn, though. One of my favorite things to go for. I mean, in the in some way, this is also a summoning build. What I'm playing here right now. It's immobile summons, but it is still at the end of the day a summon. Ah, we got one of them chthonic seals. Now since I'm really far away from the devotion shrine, I think it was a great timing to give me that onyx seal. Thanks, game. But maybe I'll find the way to that void touch totem there. Who knows? Well, maybe up there. No. Ooh, haha, look at me go. Shrine of the Forgotten God. Okay. So, secret area revealed. Okay, there's the void touch totem I was looking for. Also, I got no clue how dangerous this area actually is, or what kind of danger there is behind the quest, which is surely linked to this area. But let's first survive the manticores. Scribe Osteram's notes. Okay. So, let's take down that shrine. Not too dangerous, thank you, Vern.
That skill's not ready.
Boss number 1. Boss number 2. And there was a totem exploding up there. Blueprint Tremor. Two-handed mace. Oathbreaker's Guard. Another belt. And another miss. Okay. But at least it wasn't that horrible. Well, at least 36 physique. And vitality resistance. But still not convinced about the usefulness of this item. Nah. Okay. Totally normal bulwark. Oh! So... another shield? Interesting. There's another area where you can find another shield. Another legendary shield, that is. Okay. Seems as if that was all in this area here. Unless I forgot something. Well, at least I got the totem. Even though that was not the way how I imagined clearing out River's Mill, but not as if I would want to mutter here. Yeah, so leveling really goes a lot slower at this point. I just realized that the last level of this was a while ago. Pretty long while ago.
I can't do that yet.
This is not the way that I would take. seriously, I just did miss the quest there. Here. That's where we got to be. Alright, we got this done. Ah! Yikes. Damage. I hate these Chthonian Harbingers. Or their explosion when they're dying. Alright. Ooh, what do we have here? Is there anything here? Usually there's no such thing as a empty hidden area, but maybe I just didn't find it. Whatever. Ooh. High density. And more magic ores. Oh, you're the boss. So, since I finished the game for the main story lately with a character with 4,000 HP, I am quite confident that we're on a good way here with the 6,000 HP that I got. Right, there's Dark Whale up ahead. Ooh.
That skill's not ready.
And there's another seal. That clear speed on the totems is so sick. Alright, Explorer's Tunic, Death Ward. So here's another belt. Yeah, well, that's at least decent. Alright, everybody. Thank you so much for being around here tonight. We're going to continue this topic tomorrow. I don't think that I want to go all the way to Darkvale here. I'll just do that tomorrow one more time because, you know, we need to farm anyways, and a little bit of a repeatance won't be that bad. Or? Yeah, I still have to wait until I'm at Darkvale Gate. Anywho, good night, everybody. Thanks for the good company, and see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.